As discussed previously, law performs many functions in relation to conservation, from creating rules for judicial proceedings to setting up the basic structures of government. But one of the most important and familiar examples of environmental law is regulation of activities that affect biodiversity and natural resources. There are many different types of regulation. Two main categories of regulation are command and control regulation and market-based regulation. Command and control regulation works by directly prohibiting or imposing requirements on certain activities. Command and control regulation states what is allowed and what is not allowed, and establishes punishments for violating the rules. Market-based regulation operates differently. It tries to create enabling frameworks or market conditions where certain activities are more or less desirable or profitable. Market-based regulation can use tools like subsidies and taxes, or tax breaks. Tradable permits are also considered a type of market-based mechanism. Regulation can come directly from legislation. For example, national legislation might state that it is illegal to kill endangered species or drain wetlands. But often the specific rules that apply to individuals and corporations are fleshed out through regulations created by government agencies to implement the legislation. Permitting processes, quotas, descriptions of regulated activities, and lists of protected species are often found in agency regulations. These agency regulations are usually easier to change than the framework legislation. This makes them more flexible and adaptable to circumstances. For example, if a species becomes more vulnerable, it can be subject to stronger levels of protection through regulation, and vice versa. Creating or changing regulations usually requires a participatory rulemaking process. For example, there may be a requirement that new rules are subject to a notice and comment period when they are publicly posted and available for comment. This is an important time for civil society and concerned individuals to express their views on the new regulations. The regulating body may be required to take public comment into account in reviewing the regulations. In some cases, specific permitting processes are also subject to requirements for public notice and comment. Regulations may be based on geographical area, species, or type of activity or threat. Specific types of regulation will be discussed next.